Hello friends, in our previous lecture we have completed 3 sums and now we are remaining with more 3 sums, so we are going for that journal proper again. And again you have to repeat that this journal proper is a type of subsidiary book where such transactions are recorded which are not recorded in any other subsidiary book. Okay, it is like journal entries only, and cash and bank transactions are ignored. Okay, now yesterday we completed 6th sum, now we are going for the 7th sum. Record the following transactions in journal proper of Sri Ekta. Okay. So we are with question number 7. Journal proper of Sri Ekta. Journal proper of Sri Ekta. In that, date, particulars, LF, debit rupees, credit rupees. On 1st March 2014, brought furniture of 7,000, goods of 15,000, machinery of 20,000 to start the business. So friends, we are starting the business with furniture, with goods and with asset. Okay, with goods and with asset, that is furniture, that is machine. So all these assets are coming in, so they are to be debited, capital is to be credited as owner is the giver, and if cash is given then we will record in journal proper, but no such cash is given. So 1/3/14, furniture account debit, goods account debit, machinery account debit to capital account. Furniture is of 7,000, goods are of 15,000, machinery is of 20,000. So let's take the total. 35 plus 7, 42. Being started business with furniture, goods and machinery. Next, 2, 3, 14. Scientific calculator of 2,000 and cellular phone of 25,000 purchased from Kamlesh Traders. We are purchasing the assets from Kamlesh Traders and we have not paid the cash. So assets are coming in and Kamlesh Trader is the giver. So asset name is scientific calculator, but see, we can include that scientific calculator in stationery expense also if we need. So we can write both stationery expense account debit, in bracket we will write scientific calculator because it is related to stationery only. Then cellular phone is our asset, so it will be debited, and Kamlesh Traders are the giver, we are not paying the amount, so they will be credited. So stationery in bracket scientific calculator account debit, cellular phone account debit to Kamlesh Traders account. This is for 2000, this is for 25,000, so the total will be 27,000. B, scientific calculator and cellular phone purchased from Kamlesh Traders. Next, 3,340. Fan of 2,500 purchased for household use. Household use means drawing, so we cannot debit fan by giving goods. So we are purchasing the fan for house, so drawings will be debited, and we are giving the goods, so goods are going out other than sales, so purchase will be credited. So drawings account debit to purchase account. Now the amount will be of goods, that is 3,000. Don't think that we are only writing lesser amount always, but we are always writing the amount of goods. Being a fan purchased for household by giving goods. Next, 4,440. Drew a bill of 8,000 rupees on Namrata, which he accepted and returned, which she accepted. Namrata is not he. So we are drawing the bill, so it is bills receivable for us, and Namrata is the giver of that amount. So we have to receive from Namrata, so she will give in future. So entry would be bills receivable account debit, and Namrata is the giver of our amount in future to Namrata account. Bill is of 8,000. Being bills drawn on number. Next is 5,440. Bill of Namrata is endorsed to Yesha against her debt of 8,050. Now see, normally when we are writing the bill, bills receivable to debtor, because we have to receive from them, they are our givers. Now if we are receiving cash for bills, then cash will be debited and bills receivable will be credited. But we are not receiving the cash, indirectly our creditors are receiving the cash, so they are the receiver. So Yesha is the receiver of this bill, so Yesha will be debited, bills would be credited, also discount would be credited, because Yesha's amount was 8050, bill is of 8,000, 50 rupees is the discount received for us. Again I will explain. See, bills receivable to Namrata means we have to receive the bill amount from Namrata. Namrata is the giver, so bills receivable to Namrata. Now if in future we are receiving the amount, so cash account debit to bills receivable account. But instead we are not receiving the amount, instead our creditor Yesha is receiving, so Yesha would be debited, bills would be credited, discount would be credited. Yesha account debit to bills receivable account to discount received account. Yesha 8050, bills receivable 8,050 is the discount. Being bill of Namrata is endorsed to Yesha for settlement. Bill of Namrata is endorsed to Yesha for settlement. date is 6/6/3/40. A bill of 6,000 drawn by Bharat, accepted by us. So the bills which we are accepting is our bills payable. Bharat is a receiver of the amount in future from us. So Bharat account debit to bills payable account amount 6,000. B. Accepted a bill drawn by Bharat. Next date is 7/3/40. Goods of 8,000 were stolen away from the godown, and which insurance company accepted a claim of 75% amount. 75% of 8,000 we will take. Now, goods are going out from the godown from theft other than sales, so purchase will be credited with total amount. Insurance company is accepting the claim, so insurance company would be debited, and for the remaining amount it is a loss, so loss would be debited. So insurance company account debit, loss due to theft account debit to purchase account. Goods are of 8,000. Now take 75%. So 8,000 75% is I think 6,000. 8,000 into 75% is 6,000. So 8,000 minus 6,000, 2,000 is the loss. You take 75% of 8,000, it would be 6,000, then remaining would be 2,000. B. Goods stolen and insurance company accepted the claim of 75%. Next date is 8/3/49. An amount of rupees 8,000 is receivable from Nirav and 8,200 is payable to Nalin. The account of Nalin was settled by Nirav accepting to pay 8,000. There are three persons. I will explain here. Which are they? Nirav, Ekta, Nalin, and we are Ekta. Okay. Now read the question again. Amount of 8,000 is receivable from Nirav. Nirav will give us 8,000 and 8,200 is payable to Nalin. We will pay to Nalin. Instead, account of Nirav is directly settled with Nalin by full settlement. We are Ekta. We have to receive from Nirav and we have to pay to Nalin. So the account of Nirav is settled with Nalin, and Nirav's amount was 8,200. Nirav's account was 8,000. Nalin's account was 8,200, and 200 will be the discount with this transaction. So how is the transaction? We have to receive from Nirav. So Nirav is the giver. We have to pay to Nalin. So Nalin is the receiver. So Nalin will be debited, Nirav will be credited, and discount received will be credited. See, we have to receive from Nirav and we have to pay to Nalin. So Nalin is the receiver. Nalin account debit. Receiver. To Nirav account. Nirav is the giver, and to discount received. Why it is discount? Because it is settlement, so remaining amount is discount. We have to give to Nalin rupees 8,200. We have to receive from Nirav rupees 8,000. So 200 is the settlement discount. B. Account of Nirav and Nalin settled. We are settling them now. Next is 9340. Cash received from Rajendra for bad debts recovered. We are receiving the cash from Rajendra for bad debts recovered. Now this entry is to be recorded here because it is not recorded anywhere and it is left to record. So we are receiving from Rajendra for bad debts recovered. So cash would be received, so cash would be debited. And no note is given that we are maintaining cash book, so we are recording the cash transactions also here. Now we are receiving from Rajendra but for bad debts recovered, so we cannot write Rajendra credit, we should write bad debts recovered account credit. So cash account debit. Why we are writing cash transaction? Because here no note about like fourth question, no note is given that we are maintaining cash book, so we are writing all the transactions here. Cash account debit to bad debts recovered account. Amount 2000. B. Bad debts recovered from Rajendra. Last is 10,340. 300 is payable to Manoj for interest. We have not paid to Manoj, but we have to, it is payable, the amount is payable. And it is for interest. Interest is the expense, interest would be debited. We have to pay to Manoj. If we are simply paying, then interest to cash. But we are not paying, so name is to be written. Okay? So it is simple. Interest is the expense, so interest account debit to Manoj account. Why Manoj is credited? Because we have not paid to him, we will pay in future, so it is our liability 300. Okay, if cash would have been paid, then interest to cash. But here instead name is given, and if name is not given, then interest payable account would be credited. As you know, yesterday only I said. B. Interest payable to Manoj. Total. $7,000, $50,000, $20,000, $2,000, $25,000, $3,000, $8,000, $8,000, $50,000, $6,000, $6,000, $2,000, $8,200, $2,000, and $300. 1,12,550. 1,12,550. Okay, so this is the seventh sum. Let us once more see this sum. Okay, it's not a problem. And see, ignore ninth sum. Ninth sum is in our course, but this ninth sum, to explain these topics, I have to explain so much from the next part too. That is not required. I will not ask you in the exam. That entries are not expected in the exams. Okay, so ignore question number 9. So we are left with only question number 8 only. Closing entries are not expected in exam. I will give now. First we are discussing this. Brought furniture of 7,000, goods of 15,000, machinery of 20,000 to start the business. We are starting the assets with all the business. Assets are coming in. Owner is the giver. So assets account debit to capital account. Scientific calculator of 2,000, cellular phone of 25,000 purchased from Kamlesh Traders. We are purchasing two things from Kamlesh Traders. Things are coming in, they will be debited. Kamlesh Traders is the giver, we have not paid the amount, so they will be credited. Now friends, here scientific calculator is related to stationery, so we can write stationery debit or you can write scientific calculator account debit. Then cellular phone is the asset, so we will write cellular phone to Kamlesh Traders. They are the giver. Next. Fan of 2,500 purchased for household use by giving the goods. We are purchasing a fan for household use, so it is our drawings. We are giving the goods for it, so purchase will be credited. So drawings to purchase. Drew a bill of 8,000 on Namrata, which she accepted and returned. We are drawing the bills. It is bills receivable for us. Namrata will be the giver, so bills receivable account debit to Namrata account. Bill of Namrata is endorsed to Yesha against a debt. Namrata's bill we are giving to Yesha. Yesha is the receiver. Yesha would be debited. Bills would be credited, and remaining settlement discount would be received for it. A bill of 6,000 drawn by Bharat, accepted by us, returned to him. So Bharat will be the receiver of that bill. We are accepting the bill. So Bharat account debit to bills payable account. Goods of 8,000 were stolen away from godown. Insurance company accepted a claim of 75%. So goods are going out other than sales, so purchase would be credited. Insurance company is giving us the amount, so insurance company account debit. Remaining amount is not received, so insurance company account debit. Loss due to theft account debit to purchase account. Amount here it will be total 75% will be here and remaining 25% is here. Amount of 8,000 is receivable. See, you don't have to write this. This is just an explanation. Is receivable from Nalin and payable, receivable from Nirav, payable to Nalin, account is settled by paying 8,000. We have to receive from Nirav, then we have to give to Nalin, but instead we are directly telling Nirav to pay to Nalin. Nalin is the receiver, Nalin would be debit. Nirav is the giver, Nirav is credited. Remaining discount received is credit. Cash received from Rajendra for bad debts recovered. Here nothing where it is given that we don't have to record cash transaction. In question number 4 clearly it was given that not to record the cash transaction, so we have not recorded. But here nothing where it is given, so we will write the entry for it here itself. We are receiving the cash, cash is coming in cash account debit. We are receiving for bad debts recovered of past, so bad debts recover account credit. 300 is payable to Manoj for interest. Interest is expense as it is payable. Now we have not paid, we will pay in future, so Manoj's name is written, else if name is not given, interest payable is written. Now we are going for sum number 8, and before going to sum number 8 we will again look some theory part. Yesterday we have seen the theory part till page number 195. Now we are seeing the theory part of closing entries. But see friends, closing entries rules are coming in the next upcoming chapters, so not we are ignoring this. So you cancel the topic of closing entries and you cancel this illustration, and also you cancel that thing, that sum number 9. Okay, so sum number 9 we will not do because such entries are always not expected in exam. This year government has received, the government has removed, that is not the topic, but every year I am not taking this topic because explanation is coming in 5th chapter of second part. So I cannot explain it now. Now next we are taking adjustments entries are also not in our course. So closing entries and adjustment entries are there, but they are not coming. See, depreciation and all they are coming, but in that way we have recorded in previous sums, so that is okay. Adjustment entries indirectly we have taken, but not in so much detail. So sums till sum number 7, they are very good sums and they are okay sums. Now the last topic of the chapter, page number 197, rectification of errors. That is very difficult and important topic because the transactions here are given to be understood very clearly. In account, if you are making any mistake for recording the transaction, then reverse entry has to be passed. We cannot strike the transaction. So reverse entry is to be passed for such transaction, which is explained in rectification. Again, a detailed explanation is coming in the second part, first chapter. But still entries are there which we can understand and learn. So in short, if I am telling, this closing entries topic you totally ignore. Adjustment entries have come in sum number 6, that is okay. And the last topic is rectification of error that we are going to see. Entries are passed to rectify the errors committed while recording economic transactions are called rectification of errors. Many transactions take place in business during an accounting year are recorded in books of accounts. There are chances of errors of being committed while making such records. For certain types of errors, journal entries are to be passed for rectification, and such entries for rectification of error are recorded in journal properly. Okay. Now 8th sum is that last sum. Okay, ignore 9th sum. So now our last sum is left. After this chapter is over. Question number 8, the last sum. Pass journal entries for the following transactions in journal proper. Okay, name is not. Now here the thing is to be understood very clearly that the mistakes which we have made, opposite entry should be passed for that mistake. Okay. There are only 5 transactions, and in exam also I will ask these easy questions. Okay. Number 1, rupees 700 received from Renuka is recorded in Bhumika's account. So what error we have made? Whenever we have received the amount from Renuka, by mistake we have written it as Bhumika's account. So how to rectify this error? You have to think that whenever the amount is received, who is to be credited or who is to be debited? Actual entry is cash account should be debited and Renuka should be credited. Now what error we have made? Instead of crediting Renuka, we have credited Bhumika. So Bhumika should not be credited, she is to be debited, because by mistake she is credited, so now she is to be debited, and in actual Renuka is to be credited, so Renuka is to be credited. So the actual entry would be Bhumika will be debited, Renuka will be credited, but this is not a journal entry, this is rectification entry. Reason is that you read the question. 700 received from Renuka. So whenever we are receiving from Renuka, cash will be received, cash will be debited, Renuka is the giver, Renuka is credited. By mistake, Bhumika is credited. So by mistake, Bhumika is credited, now her account should be debited and Renuka should be credited for rectifying the error, for correcting our mistake. Okay. So number 1. Bhumika account debit to Renuka account, amount 700. Now in in narration always we have to write being rectification entry. This is not a journal entry. Being rectification entry passed for what? Amount received from Renuka is recorded to Bhumika's account by mistake. So it is little bit lengthy, but we can understand from the narration also that actually amount is received from Renuka, so Renuka is to be credited, instead Bhumika is credited. So Bhumika is not now required, so Bhumika is to be debited and Renuka actually it is required, so she is to be credited. So you have to only think one thing, that in actual who is to be credited, in actual Renuka is to be credited. So Bhumika is to be now debited for nullifying her mistake or for removing this mistake. Second, 1000 received from Upadesh for bad debts written off in past, which is credited to Upadesh account. Now in such a type of sums where hints are properly given, which is credited to Upadesh account, so for that entry Upadesh should be debited, because by mistake he is credited, so he is to be debited, and bad debts written or bad debts recovered will be credited. In the previous sum itself we have written entry. Whenever we are receiving the amount of bad debts, cash would be debited, bad debts recovered should be credited. So instead by mistake we are crediting Upadesh. So Upadesh is not required. So Upadesh should be debited and bad debts recovered should be credited. See, in this entry don't think about the cash. Cash is perfectly done. But by mistake we are crediting Upadesh. So Upadesh is not required. We will debit Upadesh and we will credit this bad debts recovered. Okay. So Upadesh account debit to bad debts recovered account. Amount is 1000. B, rectification entry passed for wrongly crediting Upadesh for bad debts recovered. Actually, it was bad debts recovered, but we are wrongly crediting Updesh, so we are debiting it for closing the account, and then bad debts recovered are credited. What is required in actual should be credited, and what is not required should be given opposite effect. This is only the simple rule. Okay, next. 800 paid to Sharma is debited to Verma. Now here also hint is given. Actually we have paid to Sharma. So what is the entry? Sharma will be debited because he is the receiver and cash will be credited. Instead of debiting Sharma, we are debiting Verma. So Verma is wrongly debited, Verma should be credited, and in actual Sharma is required, so Sharma is debited. In this transaction also, Updesh is wrongly credited, so he is debited, and what is in actual it is credited. In the same way, Verma is wrongly debited, he is to be credited because he is not required, his account should be closed, and in actual Sharma is debited. Okay? Yes. Sharma account debit to Verma account. We do not require this debit, so we are crediting, and in actual this is to be debited, it is to be debited. 800. B. Rectification entry passed for wrongly debiting Verma for amount paid to Sharma. We are paying amount to Sharma, so Sharma is debited. Wrongly, Verma is debited, so Verma is credited now. Next, number 4. 1200 paid for insurance premium is debited to drawings account. We are paying for business insurance and we are wrongly debiting drawings, so credit drawings. Which is written is debited should be credited, which is credited it should be debited. See, wrongly Updesh was credited. In some it is not written that we are wrongly credited. Wrongly what is not given, but you should understand this is the mistake. So Updesh was credited, he is debited, and in actual bad debts were credited. In the same way, Verma was debited, now Verma is credited, in actual Sharma is to be debited. In the same way here, drawings are to be credited and actual insurance premium is debited because it is actual. In the same way, Renuka was credited, but actually Bhumika was credited, so Bhumika is now debited. Only simple rules are there. So in actual, insurance premium is to be debited. So insurance premium account debit, and by mistake we are debiting drawings, so drawings are to be credited to drawings account. 1200. I know this is very difficult to understand, but whenever we are coming through this chapter we will understand. Being rectification entry passed for wrongly debiting drawings account for payment of insurance premium. Actually we have paid insurance premium, so it is to be debited. We have wrongly debited drawings, so drawings is to be credited. Last, old furniture of 6,000 of business is sold for 5,800. Now what do you think, what is the error here? Here they are not telling that this is credited and this is debited, so what is the actual error? Error is nothing, but yesterday only we have seen in journal proper, purchase or sale of assets which are on credit or profit or loss which are not, effect is not given, should be given. So we are selling the old furniture of 6,000 for 5,800. So we are incurring loss on sale. So loss is debited and furniture is credited. Only entry for loss is not paid, because whenever we are selling the furniture, it is already recorded in journal, it is already recorded in cash book, but its profit or loss is not recorded there, so it is to be recorded here. So loss on sale of furniture account debit to furniture account. Because in this entry nothing is the error. Only the thing is that we have not recorded, we have omitted this entry by mistake. 200 because loss is not recorded. B. rectification entry passed for omitting the loss on sale of furniture. We have by mistake omitted the transaction for loss because the sale transaction is recorded in cash. 700, 1000, 800, 1200, 200, 39. Now see, 9 sum I said it is not required and it is not asked in exam every year, not in this year. Every year it is not asked on this, so it is not required. And this sum we are again repeating. So this chapter is completed today. Tomorrow we shall go for the new chapter, that is ledger posting. But now again we are repeating this. Okay, friends, in this sum we are passing the rectification entries, not the journal entries. Now a simple rule for rectification entry is that you have to only pass such entry for which mistake is made. So you have to pass such entry where only it is made mistake, not other thing. So again, if you are reading the first question, you can understand 700 received from Renuka is recorded in Bhumika. Actually we are receiving from Renuka, so Renuka is the giver, she is to be credited. By mistake Bhumika is credited. So Bhumika is debited and actually Renuka is the giver, she is to be credited. Second, 1000 received from Updesh for bad debts return in past, which is credited to Updesh account. Whenever we are receiving the cash for bad debts recovered should be credited. By mistake Updesh is credited, so Updesh is debited and bad debts recovered are credited. Next, 800 paid to Sharma is debited to Verma. Whenever we are paying the amount to Verma or Sharma, they are the receiver. Here Sharma was the receiver, he is to be debited. By mistake Verma is debited, so Verma is should be credited and Sharma is to be debited. 1200 paid for insurance premium is debited to drawings account. Life insurance premium is drawings, but normal insurance premium is not drawings. So by mistakenly we have debited drawings for that, so drawings is to be credited and in actual it was business insurance premium, so it is to be debited. Insurance premium account debit to drawings account. And in last, we are selling the furniture, no mistake is made, but the loss on sale was not recorded. Furniture of 6000 was there, it is sold for 5800, that entry is made in previous times, but its loss was not recorded, so we have recorded its loss as loss on sale to furniture. Now friends, question number 9 is again not required, again I am repeating, it is not related to course. So this chapter is completed today, within 2 days. Now tomorrow we are going to start a important chapter, that is ledger posting. And after ledger posting we have only one chapter left, trial balance. It is very small chapter, it is the work of only 1 or 2 days. But this ledger posting will take some time. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much.